Good, good. How are you today?
I'm doing good, sir. I didn't want to, just assume and walk out.
No, yeah, we appreciate that. But yeah, here we are at Game On Expo one more time.
And do you all enjoy coming to this event?
Yeah. Meeting friends, hanging out with friends. It's an awesome event. The roadblocks are airport. If they had a teleporter, man, we'd be rocking and rolling. That is it. But at a convention, it's cool because we just get to hang out, and talk to people, and it's really nice, because we're geeks too. So just remember, don't be shy. Come say hi. Just takes a moment.
You gotta break that ice.
Yeah, you gotta break that ice.
Any words of wisdom y'all want to leave off with for your fans that might be something impactful that meant something to you as you got older in your craft that allowed you to be successful?
I don't know about successful, but I would say, remember, here at an event, we're all gamers, so we're all one big family, so we should treat each other like that. Take care of each other.
Absolutely.
So it's going up on the big screen. This cable by itself.
Oh, the cable by itself. If I put that directly it's going to stop.
This splitter, it's got that. This means the splitter's right.
So first and foremost, tell me who you are.
I'm Oscar Godinez, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Okay, Oscar, you are obviously an awful, talented Tetris player. Tell us what you're doing today and what's going on.
So basically, we're at the gaming expo, and there's so many games. So I play Tetris, so they're hosting an event, so that's why I came here.
Okay, so you came for the event exclusively.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Tetris event you're participating in.
So basically, right now we're playing as a qualifier. So right now in the qualifier, you just try to get the highest score, and that will determine what seed you're gonna play for the bracket on a one-on-one basis.
Okay, so when did you first hear about the Campus Challenge?
The what?
The Campus Challenge.
What's that?
That's what it's called.
Yeah. Just right now. I didn't even know about it right now. Just right now.
That's actually even awesome.
Yeah.
So I saw that you were slapping as well. So when did you learn that technique?
Hey, Christian.
So right now it's called the rolling. So it's the newest technique.
Okay.
It's not even probably 2 years old right now. So it's very, very new, and it is very dominating right now on the scene. So I'm expecting to progress. Just because it's very new technique.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you're new to the format, you're new to the technique, but you're enjoying it, correct?
I'm enjoying it, of course.
So what is a good word of advice for people who want to start and participating in these type of events?
So first and foremost, you're gonna have fun. You need to have fun. Also, if, you don't have to play super religiously. I'm playing this just because I only play once or one hour, 2 hours a day, maybe 30 minutes just because I'm so busy. So you just playing this just for enjoyment. You don't have to play so much out of your day. So my advice is how you can say this?
Casual gameplay is okay? You'll get pretty far?
Okay, so the time that you have, you try to make the best out of it. So if it's 30 minutes, you make the best out of it. Having fun or competing or whatever you want to enjoy. Or even you're stressed out, you just make the best out of it, yeah.
That's very awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
All right, thank you.
Punk, what's going on?
It's good, man. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good. I'm super happy. One of my favorite franchises. So.
They have it's the BO, but they also try and drown it with racks or something like their middle school.
Barry, Rebecca, I need some help.
What do you need help with?
I need y'all to do me a favor, tell me a little bit about y'all's awesome organization and how people can find it online.
About us, like our group?
Yeah.
So basically right here, we're part of the Umbrella Corporation, even though we're stars, the good guys, we got a better dental plan. But yeah, so we're Umbrella Corporation, Arizona Hive. We work for the Arizona Animal Welfare League. It's one of the largest no-kill animal shelters in the West Coast. It's the largest in the state. We're a non-profit, so 100% of anything bought in here goes and helps out the animals over there.
Oh, awesome.
We got ribbons, all this such, some fan-made stuff. Some of our members have made, and we have a raffle and all that fun stuff.
That's pretty cool. How many animals saved or helped throughout the organization's lifetime?
Because I've been here with the group since about 2015, and outside of the 2 COVID years, oh God, we've donated. I don't know how many we've saved in general, but I know we've donated at least over 4,000 or 5,000.
That's super awesome.
That's all these conventions throughout the year.
So all volunteer, correct?
Yes, all volunteer.
Well, that's awesome.
They pay us with the passes to get into the conventions.
Well, let me ask you this: is there a way to make a donation?
Always. We have our donation box right there.
Do y'all happen to take card by chance?
Yes, we do. We do have a square.
Can I do a donation for $100?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Oh my.
My name's Derek from Alice Media. I'm just going around talking to the booths and see if you want to give maybe 2 minutes about yourself.
Sure.
And promote yourself where we can find you out.
Sure, not a problem. So just go for it. Hi there, I'm Sapphire Nova with Superheroes Unlimited. So we are a professional cosplay company. So we do anything and everything cosplay, from making cosplays, wearing cosplays, selling awesome cosplay prints, being on the cover of comic books, all sorts of fun stuff. But you can find us on pretty much any social media, Superheroes Unlimited. My personal is Sapphire Nova Cosplay. And check out all of our fun, cool work.
Awesome. Couple questions real fast.
Yeah.
How many conventions do y'all attend a year?
Pre-COVID, we were attending about 30 conventions a year. So yeah, we do this a lot, pretty much, every weekend, every other weekend. Right now, obviously things are just getting rolling, but since things have started back, we've already done, I think, 22 shows. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling already.
Awesome. Any advice to aspiring cosplayers wanting to get into the craft?
Love advice. Best advice I can give: start simple. Everybody always has these lofty cosplay dreams of I want to do all these things, and it's someday, yes, you absolutely can. I 100% believe in every person's abilities. But you will frustrate yourself so bad that you won't want to continue if you start too complicated. So start simple, work your way up from there, build it one skill at a time, and you'll find the world is open to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course.
You have a great rest of your evening, and that's where it'll be at.
Thank you.
Hey, giving me a minute or two of your time to tell me a little bit about yourself and promote yourself online.
For sure.
Go ahead and let me know what you're going on here. Heartless Aquarius.
This is my partner right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're a cosplayer. Right now they're at a panel. They do all of these and all of that right there. In addition to that, they also make various art like these charms right here and those buttons over there. And there's a lot going on here, as you can tell.
Yes, definitely.
In the meantime, what I do, I just run support. I have a little business called Lil Mushroom Games, where I make dice. Additionally, I make source books for various tabletop role-playing games. And then in my off hours, I'm a voice actor for Genshin Impact.
Oh, very awesome.
So,
very
yeah.
awesome.
So right now I'm just manning the fort, but yeah, we're a team of creators.
So I got some awesome questions for you. About
Yeah,
two
for
of them.
sure.
So, being a multi-talented artist, where you have multiple crafts that you engage in, what do you find would be the best way to mitigate all of them into one craft to make it like you have for other people? Sorry, what's the advice you would give to other people to mitigate all their hobbies into one craft like you have with your partner?
Yeah, I guess what you're asking is how do you manage all of it?
No, not management. How do you figure out how to make it all work together so you can do it all at one time together? So how, like, she's doing the cosplay with the dice, how do you make it all mixed together to make it work?
Well, lots of coordination, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, we just kind of work on our respective crafts, and then we support each other where we can, especially when they're getting into big, hefty cosplays like today. You'll see them in Bouette later. Like helping them make sure that they can get into the cosplay, making sure it's all good, like there's nothing getting in caught or anything that we didn't see before. Setting all this up is a big thing as well, because you know they're usually getting in makeup and prepping for their look while all of this is getting raised up. And yeah, so I run logistics, they run creative, and then when we switch off, that's usually at home when we're creating stuff and making all of that to bring here.
So awesome. So basically, y'all have a great structure between you and your partners.
Exactly.
Able to mitigate y'all's business needs and intentions in a way that's structured for both of y'all to be successful.
It also helps to be like very, very in sync when it comes to our heads.
Okay. So one last question.
Yeah.
What's some of the barriers that y'all have had that y'all have overcome? It's something you're still trying to work on.
I think definitely when we're on crunches, like earlier this con. When we're just really, really tired and we know we have a lot to do in such a little bit of time. Yeah, we get frustrated a little bit. But yeah, that's just emotions and working through that and making sure we maintain a level of professionalism, even between each other sometimes, which is interesting. Like if you're in a relationship, you don't really have much of a professional mode. But when you get into that, it's not impersonal. It's just making sure we're at the right place at the right time.
Very awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Of course. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, everybody's Able Geek here off Whatnot. Found me wandering around.
Hey.
So, man, you enjoying today so far?
Yeah, dude, it's been awesome. We came in yesterday a little bit late, so wanted to get here a little early. Been checking it out. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome.
So the goal for me is to try to get everybody gathered at the Whatnot booth at some point.
Yeah.
And we make plans to go do something tonight as a group.
Awesome, yeah.
You know, hopefully everybody would have the availability or so. And if that would be the grandest idea. So as you see other people, tell them to all meet at the Whatnot booth around 5 o'clock so we can confirm on what we want to do.
All right, that works, man.
Man, so what are some of the things you're excited to see when you're here at the convention?
We've been checking out the art. I love the art prints. I'm going to definitely take some of those home. A couple games I'm looking for as well. A couple signatures. So yeah, mainly that, and just kind of meet everybody that's been like a Whatnot seller or buyer. Just everybody that's been here. So yeah, YouTube people, you know.
Which YouTubers are you here to meet?
Metal Jesus, man. I've been a huge Metal Jesus fan for a long time. So
he came in late last night. He had 2 delays, and now he should be here walking around.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I got his vinyl album. He pressed like 500 of them. So I was able to pick one of those up. I'm gonna try to get him to sign it. So
you'll probably have good success doing
that.
Yeah. Well, super awesome, man. I'm gonna continue walking around. Come catch me in a little bit. Yeah, we'll definitely talk some.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, tell us who you are and how long you've been in your craft.
Cool. My name is Ada from Kitten Karnage. I have been doing this since I was 10, but full-time for 2 years now. I got into it just because my whole family was really creative and really like nurtured that creativity out of me too. So it's really cool that I get to do this as like a full-time job.
Awesome. So where do you, inspiration usually comes from the items that we like ourselves. Do you tend to find that you're very creative in your own wants and needs, or are you finding that your general fans have good taste and they bring you some really nice stuff to create?
I think that initially it started with things that I enjoyed, and I've kind of moved into things that other people like, but then inspire me to do things that I enjoy too. So it has been initially just me, but now I'm finding that my fans do have a lot of like good tastes, and then they let me know what they want and I make them and then I wear them because they're so good. They're such good ideas.
Okay, so something I like to ask the artists and the different vendors is, what are some of the, barriers that you had that you still haven't quite overcome, stuff that turned into great successes, and how you go about making sure your successes come continuously?
I think my biggest barrier is like self-doubt, which is just something that I've dealt with my entire life. But I find too that a lot of the support that I receive helps me get over that. It's been a really slow process. It's been years and years and years of doing this and knowing that people like what I make, but that doubt always kind of creeps in. And it's just like a slow process of reminding myself and letting those compliments really like sit in my mind for as long as possible. And then I start to feel so much better. So if you like an artist's things, tell them, because sometimes they really need to hear it.
Very cool. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to start a business with their craft but not quite sure how to do it, and what might be some good advice to help you out?
I think that if you love something, you can do it. If you go into owning a business and it's something that you're not fully passionate about, you're not going to be able to put in the amount of energy that's needed. So find what it is that your hobby is that you love, like your passion, and just be really passionate about it, because that'll get you pretty much anywhere.
All right, last question. This is the fun one. What is your favorite item, the item you cannot stand, and the item that after you made it, you totally fell in love with it?
Okay, favorite item is probably the Cubone earrings.
Okay.
Item that I cannot stand because people don't seem to love it as much as I did are the little like circuit board earrings.
I saw those immediately when I walked up. So.
I'm glad to know that somebody did. And you said item that
you didn't like at first, but then after you made it, you were like, I really love this thing.
The disco balls. They're right here.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were going to be so popular, but they were really well liked.
Awesome.
So, hi there, I'm CMC Stone Jewelry. I make various nerdy natural gemstone as well as chainmail items here. So, I'm based out of Las Vegas. I'm not based here in Phoenix, but honestly, this has been really fun for me to come out here. You can find me on Facebook as well as Instagram at CMC Stone Jewelry as well as Etsy. And yeah, if you guys are ever interested in anything nerdy while still being a little bit subtle about it, I'm your store.
Okay, so you said you're out of Vegas, and so I'm sure you travel to these conventions throughout the year. What are some of the things that you find going to a convention for video games and bringing something, a different media, but to express themselves the same with what they love?
Yeah, so it's basically everyone expresses their nerddom in different ways, and it's fantastic. It's always so awesome to see what creative spins people put on their favorite IPs and that sort of thing. So it's definitely, regardless of what convention you go to, you're always going to find something unique, and that's my favorite part of coming to these shows.
What were some of the things that wanted to make you start doing this as a business as opposed to coming to these events as a fan?
So, the real story? Basically, I was collecting too many shiny rocks and I needed to do something with them.
Oh, you're my wife then, huh? Is that what it is?
A little bit.
Okay.
So, pretty much, that's what started this all off. I got into bio-wrapping stones as well as doing bracelets, effectively as like my own personal therapy, and then it got completely out of hand.
Well, something I like to ask the different artists is, and I see that you have a lot of custom pieces, so it might be harder to do this one, but what is your favorite style of jewelry to create? What is the one that you hate creating, but it's the best seller? And which one that you wish never want to do again?
Oh God, that's a really good question. Actually, one of my favorite things to do that I usually can't bring with me because of the fact that it's just too much and too heavy is I do scale mail armor. So I actually did a full Captain Britain chest piece that was purchased by a Captain Britain cosplayer, which is so cool. Probably my favorite thing to do, honestly, is just make the random bracelets that I have here, just because it's kind of like whatever I'm feeling in that moment. In terms of things I never want to touch again, it depends on what mood I'm in. It really does, because sometimes I need to make a ton of keychains and I just don't want to do it because it sucks and it hurts my hands.
Well, anything you want to leave off with to maybe an aspiring artist who wants to start their craft but doesn't know how to do so?
Don't be afraid to really dive in, but be fully aware of your monetary commitment to this, because especially if you're doing stuff with shiny rocks are expensive. They're deceptively expensive. So start small and don't be afraid to scale. Don't be afraid to find a friend to start tabling with until you get to the point where you can do it by yourself. because it's also really fun to have someone there with you.
Hi, my name is TK for RougeDuckStudios. So I make stickers and prints, and then my spouse makes keychains and buttons, and then we do shirts as well. So we're available online at RougeDuckStudios on any platform.
Okay. Now, how long have you been in business, and what were some of the inspirations that got you into doing this?
We started right before the pandemic hit, so we got like one show under our belt before we had to kind of cancel everything. But we started out doing paintings because a friend of mine did some anime paintings, and I was like, that's super cool, and I want to do that. And then we've transitioned mostly to ink and digital now. We did one show, and it was a lot of fun, so we kind of went all in.
Okay, so that's a great segue into my next question. Going all into your business, what were some of the barriers and what were some of the successes you've had jumping foot first?
So some of the barriers are the table costs can be kind of expensive depending on where you're going. We had a lot of luck getting started at some of the free library shows. The product cost to make sure that you have a lot, like if you're trying to sell a lot, can be pretty expensive. So we started small. So we were like, okay, we're gonna make 3 of this sticker and like 4 of this sticker. And then we started with just the canvases and some prints, and we got like the cheapest displays we could find, and just over time, and as we made more money, upgraded them.
Okay. So, obviously, your work it reflects your passions. Tell us a little bit about your inspirations for your art.
Awesome. So we do a lot of fan art here, so we have a lot of anime stuff. We're big weebs, but we also do a lot of queer merchandise for stickers. And then I just started making these animal stickers as well that are like funny sayings. We're working on an emu that says "Start a War." But yeah, so mostly anime and video games.
Well, very awesome. One thing I like to leave off with the people that we talk to is, do you have any advice for anybody that's wanting to start their own business and what they should look out for in your own experience that might help them?
Yeah, for sure. I really recommend looking around you to see if there's like free craft shows or free comic conventions at like the different libraries or different, sometimes the cities put on different shows. Like Mesa here does like Mesa, Main Street on Mesa, like it's a free show to get in. And then just make what you like and go from there. And it's a lot of fun. So.
Tell us a little bit about how you became a part of your craft and when did you start your business?
Okay, sure. So my name is MiaPichina. You can find me mainly on Instagram, and the best method for any commission requests is just miapichina@gmail.com. I'm an illustrator and concept artist. I work in indie video games and custom commissions. And I started seriously taking art into consideration at about 15. So I'm 25 now, so I've been doing it for about 10 years. I started taking commissions, and a lot of my art is semi-realistic at best, and it takes a little bit of time. So the larger prints normally take anywhere about 50 hours to get done, and then some of the smaller prints take 20, 30 hours to finish. And yeah, I do either conventions like this, or I'll be launching an online shop later in the year as well, so keep an eye out for that. And I plan to keep doing conventions locally in Arizona as well as throughout the US and Canada in the future.
Very nice. So getting yourself out there and traveling the circuit here at conventions, what do you find some of the best receptions you get from the gamers, or do you get better receptions from traditional avenues of selling art?
It's very interesting. I think that the gamers really like the niche stuff. So the best response is if there's a character that they love, if something's popular at the moment is always a big one. I think that people who might just be into art are much more on the appreciative scale, but my booth is filled about 50% fan art and then 50% just original art. So I'm still actually selling original art even when it's not related to any of the games that people know and love.
Very awesome. So being an artist and ever-lasting trends always happening, like you said, what's something that's in currently playing or something that's coming up, Do you find that you're having to research a lot of new characters that might take you out of your wheelhouse in your drawing style?
Yeah, so for me, anything anime is a little out of my drawing style, and it really is a challenge to adapt it. Since I'm so semi-realistic, sometimes it can lead into characters in that uncanny valley where something just doesn't look quite right. So it's been a long skill of trying to learn and adapt to actually draw them in a more semi-realistic style that fits for them, outside of kind of the anime and what people already know. And I'd say there's a lot of research as far as trying to keep up to date with shows or games that are really relevant. So Elden Rings just came out earlier this year, and Arcane came out earlier this year. And both of those are my top selling prints of the weekend because everybody is really into those characters. And in my mini prints, Yor from Spy Family has also been going on sale a lot.
Very awesome. Well, last question I like to ask the artists, tell us some of your barriers that you had to overcome and they became successes, and what are some barriers that you still have to this day?
Yeah, so self-doubt and imposter syndrome are like the biggest barrier I think most artists go through. I actually did, this is only my second booth. I did one booth, so sorry. I did one booth about 8 years ago, and I really wasn't ready. And that kind of scared me off for a while. And so, you start doubting, is this right for me? Can I actually do this? And that continues for a long time. It's only recently when I really started putting in my time and doing the practice and working on commissions that I realized I can do this. I'm like on that road, but it's a constant improvement journey. So it's always learning more.
Any advice to anybody who wants to start their own business and not quite, that could be helpful for them that helped you?
Give up on the idea of it having to be perfect. Like, you could have 30 years of doing this and your booths, your prints, your shop will never be perfect. And a lot of people sit there and they wait to say that I have to have the right, site's got to look great, prints have got to look great, all of these things have to be like stars aligning in order for me to start my business, when it's just 10 times better to just continuously work and practice and be consistent when you're launching your business, and eventually you'll grow and you'll get better and things will start to line into place. Because if you've never done a booth, you're not going to know what does or doesn't work until you actually try it out.
Thank you very much for that awesome advice.
So this is the Wolf and Dirt Birth booth. We're two game devs that are just kind of taking our shot here. We're coming out with a new game, but it's still rough alpha, way rough alpha. So we're mostly just doing playtesting. We're not really looking for Kickstarter or Patreon. We're just playtesting today and just kind of getting a common idea of what people want in a game.
What genre is this game?
Oh, was that?
What genre is this game?
Action RPG, I suppose. Like it's mostly RPG, but it's very reaction heavy.
Okay, I like that.
It's kind of new. That's why we're playtesting. I don't know if this is too much alien of a concept that people can grasp. Yesterday, people couldn't play it. Today, we added a tutorial, and people can play it. So we had to kind of teach people a little bit, but it's been fun.
Learning curves kind of there, but once it gets there, I'm sure they were able fluidly to get through that.
Yeah. So I'm mostly back end, so like this. I mean, I was like, oh, the game makes sense to me. And I presented, people were like, I can't play this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my god. So I had to, make the front end a little bit nicer.
So what's awesome is you bring up a valid point of being in a business for yourself. You're coming up to a barrier or a learning curve with your product that you're having to overcome. So through playtesting, which is one of your tools used to fix that, what are some of the other tools or ideas that y'all use as a company to help facilitate these problems and get them to a point where you can move forward?
So a lot of it is I mean, it's going to sound, this is a weird answer, but it's struggling. Like if you hit a wall and you just like you can crumble, you can give up for a little bit, but you can't give up on the dream, right? You got to keep going. And a lot of it was struggling. A lot of it was just like, oh, this isn't going to work, or like we don't know what we're doing. But then we keep going. There's a little bit of progress each day, and then you start realizing, hey, this is kind of fun, and then you get your friends involved. I think a lot of it is like, get your own friends involved and stuff like that. Like, as much as the playtesting has been helping out, there's a lot of assault. Like, it's a lot of just kind of, we take it as it comes. But also it's believing in yourself.
Very awesome. Any last advice do you want to give to aspiring game creators who are wanting to get into the business?
Don't give up on your dream, because other people will, but you don't have to. And you can be here someday too.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Very awesome answers.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing? Good?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. You got 2 minutes to talk about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, so our team's called Team NT Studios. We're an indie dev studio in the Valley here. We're working on an augmented reality escape room for the mobile. So I'll just show this quick. So what you can do in the game is you have an inventory with different items, and then I'm just gonna steal one of these. And how the game works is if I scan different objects in the game, it makes them pop up in augmented reality, and you can go around. And it doesn't like a lot of the flaring lights going on, but I can open doors. There's different scavenger hunt type things going on here. I could solve puzzles with the objects I get in the room. So the idea of it is you could take these, decorate your own house with them, and set up a full escape room just in your living room or something. And we're gonna make a bunch of different rooms that you can get, so you'll have access to multiple rooms just in your own living room. And we're looking in a couple months to get started on our Kickstarter. So I'll hand you a business card, but our website is CMCStoneJewelry.com. We're on Twitter at TeamNT Studios, Facebook at TeamNT Studios, and we're going to be posting regular updates about the game. So if you're interested, you can check it out.
Well, thank you very much. Any advice do you have for aspiring programmers who are getting into the craft?
Yeah, my first thing is just get into it. Look for game jams. There's the Global Game Jam. There's Game Maker's Toolkit has a game jam. Check out itch.io, runs game jams all the time. Just hop into Unity or RPG Maker or any tool you can find that's free to use, and just start learning and building something. Because experience is going to be the best way to get you learning. Awesome. So game jams is my top advice. Just push yourself into it and get started, and you're going to learn a lot of things really fast.
How are you doing today?
Good.
You have about 2 minutes of time to tell a little bit about yourself.
Sure do. So my name is Angela, and I'm representing Nomnivore Games today. We're a game company that has a wide variety of games, card games, quick party games, and our own role-playing system called Emberwind. And all of our focus is on accessibility. So we want to have games that are easy for people with things like ADHD and dyslexia to play, younger kids to play, and for people who are new to games who want to find something that's easy to get into, but also a rewarding experience as they begin to master it. Oh, this is one of our developers, Alex.
Awesome. So what inspired y'all to get into this game developing type?
So one of the big inspirations was to get people around the table so everybody's actually like jumping in and playing games and not just reading rules the whole time. So one of the things that I actually designed with Snack Attack was it's dyslexic ADHD friendly because there's no words on any of the cards, and it's actually a 2-minute tutorial video right on the rules card, so you don't even have to read the rules. Yeah, our big inspiration for all of the games is, again, just to make sure that people can jump into the table, start playing, and having fun.
Awesome. So, in the exception of your product, how many nights and how much effort did it take to get from start to finish?
Is it daytime yet? No, so we've basically been working on Emberwind for like about 10 years. Derek's been on that project and developing it, but we actually got published about 3 years ago, 3 to 4 years. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. So about 4 years ago now, and it successfully funded on Kickstarter. Then we launched Snack Attack, and we just successfully funded Dungeons & Dinos, our latest game. So if you go on our website, you can pre-order it today, and it actually does exist. It's just we are shipping them out as we speak, so yeah.
Well, that is pretty awesome. Any advice you want to give to people wanting to get into the craft of game design?
Absolutely. So it's really fun. Like, I love game design. It's what I live for. I would say start small. Don't go too ambitious. Keep it simple and just get people to play your game. Make sure everybody's laughing, because I mean, what's the point of game design but to actually have a good time? So if everybody's having a good time, then you're probably onto something.
That's super awesome. I appreciate your 2 minutes of your time.
So I am 8-bit crafting. We take perler beads and melt them together to make different characters from different genres. We have really small ones to really big ones. That's about it.
All right. How long have you been in this craft?
About 8-9 years.
Awesome. So did you start after? How did you get excited to start doing this yourself?
We got really bored one day, wanted to craft something because me and my sister do this together, and we found the perler beads, and we didn't like what patterns were out there, so we started making our own, and then we realized we had a lot more than what we could actually use. So then we started getting into conventions.
That's awesome. All right, so how about this? Now as a seasoned vet in the convention scene and in your business, what's some advice you can give to people wanting to start off this style of business? Conventions and their own craft. Doesn't have to necessarily be this, but making a business owner.
Yeah, I would say be able to adapt. To adapt to what is coming out, what is new, and be able to reverse back to what is old, because a lot of retro things are really good. So you've got to be able to adapt to new and to old.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. You want to give your website or anything so people can find you online?
This is 8-Bit Crafting at Instagram is where we can come.
How you doing today, sir?
Let's go, dude.
Doing pretty good. Going around talking to the booths. I wonder if you had 2 minutes of your time to just maybe talk about your booth and who you are and how people can find you online.
Cool. I'm not the artist or anything. I just work for them. Is that all right?
Works.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good. So we are Wizyakuza. We make 3D lenticular art. We have big prints, small prints, and standard prints. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok. Our website's the same name, Wizyakuza Artwork. And we hope you enjoy.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about the artists and how they got into this convention style or selling at conventions.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the artist is a very talented individual. He draws by passion and he draws everything because he wants to. The company started about 7 years ago. The owner of the company has been in this industry longer than that. This is just the company that started 7 years ago. And I'm at conventions every weekend selling this product, having fun with like-minded people, and it's a dream job.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are some of the ideas and futures projects maybe the artists might be doing that you could give us like a little teaser about? You don't have to tell us what it is, but maybe something that they haven't drawn before, something they're really inspired in the past year.
Yeah. So we like to keep ahead of the curve on what's coming out. So we're really into anime. So we got the fall of the new anime line. We're going to be working on all of those things, such as Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, things like that. Working on a lot of new One Piece stuff. And we get new stuff for Marvel, DC, Star Wars, things like that. So just any new show or any new anime or any new movie coming out, we're usually going to have something for it.
Any advice for any aspiring artists and or people wanting to get into this type of artistry?
Just work hard, keep at it. The harder you work, the more successful you're going to be.
Well, I'm Angela. I own and run Crystaline Creates. It's gemstone jewelry that I tailor for nerdy people. So I do stuff based on, right now I got like Mass Effect and Legend of Zelda and Pride jewelry. I have The Witcher. I have a lot, and I have more that I'm planning on doing. And it's all kind of subtle representation. It's all done with natural gemstones, glass or metal beads. And I come up with all the designs myself just based on kind of recognizable parts of the character.
What was some of the inspiration to start this business and get into this craft?
I've been doing jewelry since I was 16. It was kind of my coping mechanism, and so was gaming. So I just wanted to figure out a way to put those two together, because sometimes you can't always find nerdy jewelry that's well made. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, I wanted to be able to wear it to anything, you know, from just out day to day to even to a wedding if I wanted to. So I found a way to do that.
What was the day, or who was the person that walked up to you and said, I love your jewelry so much, and then you were like, this is it, I gotta start selling it? That was the last time I heard that. I'm not doing this ever again.
It's been a process. I've had a lot of my family is very supportive, and a lot of them were like, why aren't you selling this? What are you doing? Why aren't you putting this out there? And my best friend here has been one of my biggest supporters, and she was like, you should probably do this. And she's been supporting me this whole time, so having that plus my husband, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
All right, so then now she got you in this. Let's go ahead, from a friend's perspective, watching your friend grow from where you first met her to where she is now today, what are some of the things that you're proud of most when watching her do her journey?
So The first vendor event that we didn't have a lot of product, but we made a decent amount of money, and just like the amount of product that she's been able to come up with, the kind of stuff she does, like the earrings that I'm wearing, she's done a couple of custom pieces for me, and I sit there and I wonder like how she comes up with this, how she has the patience for it, and I love it.
That's super awesome, and it's great to see the support structure within your friend group, and I'm sure the family as well. The last question I have for you is, what is your 5-year goal going forward, and how are you going to scale up your business so that you can go from what you're doing now, and if even increasing 10% year over year, that's 100% in 10 years. Where do you want to see yourself in that 5?
I want to be doing more of these types of events. Like, these are my people. I come to this, I come to like Phoenix Comic Con, so I want to be doing all of those. I'm building my own like TikTok channel right now. I want to eventually move to YouTube, just talking about nerdy stuff and relating it to mental health, because that's where my passion is. So I'm building all of that right now and working that up, and that's where I want to be.
Well, you know what? I see great successes for you in the future. I bet you're going to be hiring employees next year, and you're going to have a workforce helping you build out your beautiful product, and you'll just be solely designing. And that'll be the way that puts you in position to grow where you want to be.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we're Premium Edition Games, and we help indie developers that are already on the Switch create physical copies of their games for people that like to actually collect physical games, especially people in my age range that want something physical in their room. So we provide a service to actually give collectors, even beyond just the game, something else to go with it. So we have soundtracks and comic books and trading cards to go with the games to all just enhance the experience of it. So that way you can have something physical for the little guys creating the little games that still are super cool.
That's very awesome. What is some of the things that Premium Edition did in the beginning that they're doing different now for the indie developers that they work with?
Well, Premium Edition is constantly trying to expand. They're trying to reach new developers, create new games, because there are so many artists out there that want to expand in the art form. And so there are more games coming out, and they're also looking into possibly getting onto different platforms. It's of course a very time-consuming process because some of the big names aren't necessarily as easy to get into, but hopefully that will be in the future.
So awesome, great segue into this question. Do y'all only take in applications, or do y'all actually seek out talent to broadcast their games because you see something there when you watch their product?
Any way that's available, honestly. If we see something at a convention, we're more than happy to contact the developer at that point, or you can contact us and we can see what we can do.
Any last advice for developers who might be looking to get into the industry and not, and it would help them facilitate an easier ride into that?
That I don't necessarily know the answer to, but definitely reach out to Premium Edition, and we would be happy to do anything we can to help you and your company possibly get farther into the process than it already is.
Well, I appreciate your time and effort.
The company I work for is called V1 Tech. We're based out of Farmersville, Texas. Not Farmersville, Farmers Branch. Yeah, okay, you're down the road, yeah. We're from Farmers Branch. And I mean, we've been around for about 8 years. We're actually started as a computer company, and we've kind of been working more and more into the anime and kind of comic book world and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, we basically just go around selling this stuff, dude. We work with like 64, 65 artists now. Got over 2,000 designs on our website. We do custom computers and everything like that. And I mean, we just love to have fun, dude. We love what we do. Really, yeah, we're very passionate about it.
How many conventions do y'all have per year that y'all?
Oh man, we have like 4 this weekend. Yeah.
So y'all are spread out, multifunctional.
Every week I'm somewhere. Yeah, every week. Yeah, we got about 3 teams now or something like that. So yeah.
Do y'all ever do any type of limited style printings where y'all would number them to 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000?
No, we haven't done anything like that yet. No. The only time we get limited on it is if an artist breaks contract with us and we have to sell out or something. But I mean, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, because think about it, you could do like taking inspiration from the card world or even the comic world, variants, limited. I know with some of the cards I collect, you have 1 to 1 to 1, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 40, 1 to 99. I mean, and that premium does add value and gives the artist a chance to facilitate rarity amongst their artwork, and I think it'd be a great jumping point to get feature artists to come in and maybe earn a spot to have a featured card like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, honestly, but it's something we'd have to talk to our artists with.
So most artists most likely would probably agree, because anything that features them a chance to get farther in their craft would never be a downgrade. Now, I have talked to some artists who do not like talking about their artist craft, and I don't feel
that's something we try to do a lot, is like bring a lot, like we walk around and try to find artists to work with us. And hopefully if they do, we are able to like give them a platform, because they can be on our website. We're going to advertise them, and then we're going to bring them to cons and everything too and sell. So I mean, we try to work with them and get them out there too, especially the smaller ones that no one knows about, you know? So,
all right, what's the website?
It's v1tech.com. It's V number 1 and then like TECH.com.
All right, last thing. Hottest seller so far today? Or this week?
They're already gone. We had like some Berserk ones disappear, some some Samus ones go. Yeah, some of them are already gone. Yeah.
Lovely, because that's what I do. Here's the money maker. All right, so this is Diva Nerdy Crafts. I specialize in making glass edge candles. So when you get done burning them, you can clean the jar, right? And I started this company when during the pandemic, I played video games and I had to learn a new skill, right? So I merged the two. As a result, Diva Nerdy Candles. So I have a lot of permanent glass etchings all on these candles. I'm really excited. It's all based on the games I play, to be fully immersed in the video game world. I got things such as Stages, Honeybee Inn, I got Aerith, I got Persona, Blood, Dirt, and Zombies from Resident Evil, my fave. And that's what it is. So I'm super excited to be here at GameCon, my first con, and let's rock and roll.
Awesome. So being your first con, coming in here and rocking it out, tell us some of the things that you had to do, barriers and successes to get to where you're at today.
Barriers, definitely, because I have ADHD, right? So it's definitely the focus and remembering like every single detail. I remember everything so tight, they're like, you are over-prepared, right? And so, but the biggest barrier is definitely the remembering all the details and getting used to being on my feet and talking to people. But it's easy too, because I'm in my realm. These are my people. I can't tell you the kind of conversations I have about Final Fantasy that I haven't had in the years in the pandemic. So this is life for me. I am just thrilled, and I will be back every single year.
Okay, so back every single year, but what about going to more conventions throughout the year?
I'm addicted. So I'm gonna go through a whole bunch more cons and stuff like that. I'm definitely looking into Tucson one, and Comic-Con for our Phoenix Fan Fusion is my next biggest one for next year. But I am making this a thing. It is done.
So tell me this is what I like to do. Top seller and the one that you love but you would not like to make again because it's so hard to make, but then you have to make it because everybody wants it.
That's a good question. All right, top seller surprise. On Etsy, it was Lady Dimitrice, the tall lady herself. They call her Don't Step On Me. This one was the most fun for me. The scent, the dark candles, and the glass edge roses, and the umbrella symbol. That's the one that that was hard to make. I hate making it, but everybody loves it. Honeybee Inn, actually right here. And the Honeybee Inn, if everybody remembers Honeybee Inn, it's when Cloud cross-dressed. Okay. And the reason why is because I actually etched the lyrics to the song that they sing in there. Honeybee Inn and the symbol, and making each embed in here was the hardest one. But people love it, and I'm so thrilled. It gives me energy in life to keep doing it over and over again.
That's super awesome. Any advice to people wanting to start off in their craft and wanting to make it to their first con?
Do it. My younger sister was supposed to be here today to help me, right? And she just is scared to pull the trigger. If you got a thought and a dream, go for it. I keep saying pull the trigger. Life is too short. If the pandemic taught us anything, is to just go for it. This was my dream. It's something I thought about since I was 10 years old. I'm in my 30s now, and I pulled the trigger and I just went for it. So starting out, YouTube is your friend. They got so many people, such as myself. They have so many candle makers that will teach you from A to Z on how to start this. All you gotta do is have a dream, a hope, and a niche.
Going, my name is X. I'm the artist of this booth here at EX001. This is our very first booth that we are having here in the United States. We do all our booths in Europe. So I would like to say, ciao, sono X, e H alfe, e defe. Okay.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your art style and what got you into art, and a little bit about yourself.
So I am an international graffiti artist. I have had galleries all over Europe, South Africa, South America, Canada, and of course North America now here. I rarely do galleries here, so I'm starting that up because now we are all back in effect. What got me into this is I used to live in Spain, and when I was in Spain, I saw a bunch of guys literally jump out of a train, put on masks, and paint an entire train in about 3 minutes. It got me into graffiti. So I've been painting since I was 16. I like to have big, what you see here, the ones that are for 500, those are originals. But underneath them are the actual prints that I want you guys to have and own. And it's all about quality over quantity.
Okay. So as a street artist and being able to take your craft from the streets to the galleries, what are some of the barriers and successes that you had doing that journey?
The hurdles that you must overcome is this. It's mental. You have to know your product is good. You also have to be different from everyone else. Your style must reflect who you are, not what is of the times. And I would say what leads to the success is this. One, if you want to go somewhere, to another country, you need to know what that country loves to see. For example, here is one of my favorite cosplayers of all time. This is Sonia. And this is Sonia, she's from Italy. I wanted to go to Italy, I painted her. I will have a gallery there in a couple months where she will be there. I've painted for the Vatican before. I've painted for the Mormon Church. The Mormon Church has many of my paintings in a lot of their temples. So it's where do you want to go and who do you want to associate with? And that leads you to anywhere you see, including, and I want to show some Radical Reggie, my best friend. Everyone knows him for the Metal Jesus Rocks crew. He is here, and we only have a limited amount that we're actually almost about to sell out of during this time. And of course, you have to envision yourself in this art. That is me.
Definitely. I was actually hanging out with Reggie the other day, and it's super awesome that, you know, you've taken something that obviously you're talented in, but passionate about, and able to convey that to the masses, make it very awesomely accepted and popular, and from all aspects, the Vatican to all churches and all the way here, you know, you're overstepping bounds and leaps that most people take generations to do.
Correct.
What is some advice that you can give to someone that wants to be just like you?
Don't be like me. Be yourself. You don't know what I had to go through to get through this. A lot of late nights, a lot of tears, because I was alone. I don't want you to go through what I did. What I want you to do is go through your own trials to learn your lessons that you need. That's how you become rare and unique.
We are Old School Gamer Magazine. I'm the publisher of it. This is a sample issue that we give out at the cons. We come out every other month. We cover the 70s through roughly the 90s. Everything pre-HD is what we consider retro at this point. Usually about 60 to 70 pages long. You can subscribe online, oldschoolgamer.com, and you get on the free version of it and just check it out for yourself. You'll get access to the first half of every issue digitally.
That's awesome. So, being a publication online and in physical format, what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself active within the community and forward thinking towards the future of what's coming?
Well, Mr. Lester John that invited us to come out here, basically just said, come on down, promote the magazine. We do this at probably 20 to 30 different cons every year. We also interact a lot with some of the podcasters and the channels, do a write-up on what they do and kind of spread the love among everybody that's out there.
What is some advice for people who have thoughts of writing for a publication or becoming a part of the publication in some aspect, either art or in editorial?
Well, specifically with us, you can email me, rb@oldschoolgamer.com, RB as in Ryan Berger. But overall, start yourself up a blog, start getting stuff out there. Check your material heavily, maybe use Grammarly to make sure to clean up any of your grammar and commas and organization to it. And just get out there, start to attract an audience. Be real specific on what you're gonna do. If you're a Vectrex guy or you're a virtual boy, you love it. Be real specific, don't just write about all kinds of things. Take a topic and do everything within that topic.
Okay, following up with you, what is some of your goals for the next 5 years for Old School Gamer Magazine, and have you thought about any other formats of media that y'all can venture into to expand your reach?
We want to, well, we're going to start doing a little bit more with with a YouTube channel and some Twitch, stuff like that, but we really want to take our magazine up a little bit further. We've been around for just now 5 years as of this November. We're going to expand the magazine a lot more, add a lot more content to it, and get a little bit more going on our blog.
Well, thank you very much. Any advice you want to leave off with for someone that wants to reach out to you and do any type of work? You gave us your website, but what are some active roles you're looking for right now?
We're looking for some writers in some of those niche areas, like what I said earlier. You know, that's some specific stuff. I mean, if you're a computers guy from the 80s, like to work on Apple IIs and Commodores, I'd love to hear from you with what detail you have. We're just trying to get really, really down to those detailed stuff that people really enjoy. So just get a hold of us through oldschoolgamer.com.
Well, thank you very much for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Hi, my name's Moto. I'm with Moto's Glass, and I make sandblast etched glassware. And I do pint glasses mostly, both clear, frosted, and color. And I also do large mugs, whiskey, and whiskey sets. This is something I've been doing for 7 years. You can find me on the web at www.motosglass.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Moto Glass. You can see all my pictures currently on Facebook, and I'm working to put them up on my website. I do custom, and you can do anything up to the resolution of a photograph.
Awesome. So what got you started in this field?
So I have a Centipede arcade from the 80s, and it's the sit-down one, and the glass broke. And the glass didn't have any stickers on or under it, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to etch the logo on it and some mushrooms and basically have a one-of-a-kind machine. So I started doing flat glass, and then somebody asked me to do a Father's Day pint, and when I posted it on Facebook, it exploded.
Did you find that once you saw that you had a knack for something really cool that the masses wanted, how easy was it for you to go from concept to business?
Well, it really just took off because my first show was 7 years ago. I did ZapCon, which is an arcade pinball show, and after seeing the, just the likes for it and the positive remarks about it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Any advice for people who get a hankering for something but not quite sure how to put it out there?
Well, social media, of course, is really good, but so are friends and family, because not only if they don't get anything from you, but they will tell others about it. So social networking in a lot of different ways is the best way to go.
All right, last question. What's the goal for yourself and your booth for the next 5 years coming?
So I am actually moving this up from a hobby business to full-time right now. I actually went and got my business vehicle today, and I will be ramping up, doing more shows all over the West Coast, Southwest, and hopefully starting to move Central and East.
Well, very awesome. I hope you very much well in your endeavors, Mr. Moto. Have a great rest of your show, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little about yourself and your booth and who you are.
Hi, we're Mochi Yogurt. We're basically a studio run by 2 people, and we have a lot of arts, and all of the art are like originally illustrated by us for different types of fandoms. Like we have Genshin, we have anime, we also have BTS stuff.
Awesome. How long have you been in business, and when did you and how did you get into this craft?
So we've always been anime fans. Ever since we were little. We started in 2020, just before the pandemic. So that's probably what like made us want to like jump into it, because like there was nothing to do. So we're like, we might as well make our hobby into like our jobs, and now we're here.
Well, that's awesome. That seems to be a really big theme amongst most people who are in conventions and have a business. So that being said, as you've grown and coming from the COVID time, what are some of the road barriers and successes that you've had?
Oh, from
just being a business.
Yeah. So it was really hard to start because there were no cons during the pandemic. So,
I'm so sorry.
So all of the growth has been like online, and a lot of word of the mouth from people who have received our products. But we've been doing like cons for a year now, ever since everything opened back up, and we've been getting like a little more known since cons started, so that's been like a success so far.
Very nice. So now that the con season is coming back into full swing, what are some of the things that you've noticed that's changed in the buying habits of your customers?
I would say that the customers tend to like buy more in cons now than online, because it's better for them to see the products in real life versus just pictures.
So you definitely see a benefit to being live in front of your consumers as opposed to just an online presence.
Yes, and we interact with them more as well, so they get to know us artists better, IRL, than just like being behind the screen.
Okay, so got 2 quick questions to finish it out. Top seller here at the con, and then the one that is just the hardest to draw, and like it was the hardest to draw, but now you got it, you just love it to death.
Okay, so the top sellers would be like all of the Genshin prints that we have, and then the hardest one for us, I believe, would be like anything Zhongli. So this one and then that one, but they've been like really good sellers, so it was worth it. We redrew them like about 2-3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is somewhere we can go to find your product online to make purchases?
Oh, it would be www.mochiyogurt.com.
Yes. So you can find my shop online on like you can search it up on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok about Otaku Envy. Or I have the websites over here, otakuenvy.com. And my shop is about like all the cute sticker like based on streetwear or the cute face like cow face. We also have like the jet tag or the air freshener for you, as well as those print like.
And how long have you been in this craft?
So this August will be 1 year, completely 1 year for this shop to be open. Like.
How many conventions do you go to a year right now?
So far I think like we complete like six conventions. So this is our first Arizona convention because our shop came from Houston.
Very nice. We're from Austin, so that's awesome. So we're local to where you might be at. So.
Oh, nice.
So definitely, are you going to be at Retropalooza in Dallas this year?
I think I will be, because there will be a lot of convention upcoming too. So the next one I'm going is Anime Houston.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So any advice to people who are starting to get into the con business and in a craft that they enjoy?
So the first thing you should do is like do more research and find like the good artists, find out like what people like the most. So you can base on that, and then you can like start up with a new design, and don't like base on somebody and copy it. Find your own niche about like how like what's your personal like about like. So for me, I like cute, so I did everything cute. I'm not gonna do like anything lewd like that.
Right. Now, have you been commissioned or ever asked to do something to that effect? And is it out of your scope, or is it just a respect thing that why you don't do it?
Respecting, just like to me, I like it, but I like to look at it. But for selling it to other customers, I feel like I don't like it.
I understand. Maybe a different division later on down the road that doesn't have to be with your main company, but a different business doing business as. Yeah. It's totally separate, but still you. Because no reason to.
Just like you don't need to be. Yeah. You can be yourself. Don't be somebody else. Just be yourself.
Exactly. But awesome. Any last words you want to give out to people that come to your booth and have questions about your art?
So far, I would like to say thank you for everybody who support to our convention and our booth, and I really appreciate and see you in the future con too.
Well, awesome. What's your website so they can find your stuff?
Otakuenvy.com.
Hello, how you doing? My name's Grim, and I'm here in Arizona doing a Game On Expo, and I'm having a lot of fun, and we wish you were here. I love to draw all kinds of stuff, from everybody's favorite iconic characters to my favorite characters growing up, ranging from badass heroes to sexy pinups to high fantasy characters and magic.
Awesome. How long have you been an artist, and what got you into your art style?
Oh man, I've been doing this professionally now for the last 5 or 6 years, but I've loved it all my life. And what was the other part of that question? Was what got me into it? Man, when I was a kid, it was like X-Men comic books, just seeing cartoons on TV. Dragon Ball was a big gateway one for me. Video games, huge for me, and it's just been history ever since.
So that's very awesome. I love your medium. Obviously, the female antagonists and protagonists of all these awesome genres are great mediums to work with. I know myself as a young youth, I used to trace magazines to draw my own pictures of super awesome chicks as well. And definitely, I never got to take it much further. What is something you can say to people who want to jump into their craft but might not feel comfortable with their medium going forward, not knowing what people accept?
You know, it was really hard for me growing up because I love to draw, but I was always scared to really take it seriously, or not necessarily seriously, but to really pursue it as a study and a passion. Because everybody always told me, do something else, do something that'll, actually be more secure, like be a doctor or something like that. But it just takes discipline and commitment. And it takes passion, and that means having fun, but also really getting into it and immersing yourself in the craft. And so, it can be intimidating at first, but if you really focus on what you love about what you're doing, you'll push through that barrier, and then you'll just continue, and then you'll be out there soon.
Well, great segue to my next question. What were some of the biggest barriers and biggest successes that you have to your journey today?
Oh man, I think some of the biggest barriers was it's just like sometimes it's expensive as an artist, getting the materials, whether that's digitally, having the right computer or the setup. But you just got to save up, you just got to work for it. If it's what you want, you got to find a way to get there, And some of my biggest successes since, I think it's just an ongoing bucket list of things I'm crossing off, and I'm so thrilled about it. Like traveling out here, that's been a dream of mine to travel and do these shows. But it's also been really exciting to have stuff actually start to get published on comic book covers. Those have been huge victories. But then even just getting to meet other artists through the years that I've looked up to since I was a kid, and then now getting to start to chum it up with, that's like a dream come true, So I can't wait to see what happens next.
I totally agree, man. I got to meet one of my idols yesterday in my craft as well, so I totally get that. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of fun stuff about your stuff. Tell us your top seller. Tell us the one that you hated drawing the most, but now that it's done, you couldn't live without it.
Oh man, okay, so the top sellers probably our swimsuit Morrigan piece is probably one of the most popular
Not
ones.
Lilith?
Yeah. And probably one of the pieces that I struggled with the most, but I love it now. I would probably say the bunny at the top with the purple sword. That one was really tricky, especially because certain pieces, at nighttime or in the dark or in certain atmospheres, it's really hard to capture all those things. And it was really tricky. There was a lot of intricate details. There was a specific sword I was trying to paint in there from the game. But man, it was a relief when it was done. And I was just so happy. Wipe my hands and it was finished.
Super awesome. Okay, so I have your tag right here, your art. Is there a website or just an Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch?
Yeah, there's a website. It's actually right here at the bottom. G21MM.com. Everything I do, you can find me on those tags right there. Super easy to find me. Thank you so much.
So we're local here out of Phoenix, Arizona. My brother and I, Dominic's the artist. He draws everything that you're looking at by hand. Crazy talented artist. I do shows for him that way that he actually has time to draw. But man, he's a workaholic. Works so hard. You can see he's got this new Beast Gohan. It ain't even out yet in the US. So we do all of this, prints. We have some exclusives on the table as well. But definitely check us out at the Dominic Glover.
Awesome. Any last words you want to say to people that want to get into this craft and aspire to be a great artist like your brother?
You can check him out. Here's his info right here. There's a QR code, all his info right there.
So, we're Strange Aeon Games. Yesterday, our Kickstarter for Cthulhu Age of Madness went live. We were successfully funded in 8 hours. This morning, I actually checked it, we're at about 200%. So we're already unlocking stretch goals. So give us a look on Kickstarter if it's interested. It's a very strategic, fast-paced game. It's
You still have one more play to go.
There.
You have
So you know. So at this point, it is a strategic guard game of cultists and eldritch powers. So it's based in the Lovecraftian mythos of the Cthulhu mythos. The best way we actually describe it, it's very similar to Magic the Gathering that meets poker. So there's a little strategy to it with a touch of Mario Party. You brought friends, but you might leave without them. So, in essence, he's actually winning. The goal of the game is you control one of 4 elder gods from the Cthulhu mythos. You have Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep, Azathoth, and Yog-Sothoth. The goal of the game is to unlock all 4 seals, and that way you usher in the elder gods from the void. In order to unlock those, you would actually use cultists as currency.
I just went.
By that fact, yeah, you're gonna get eaten alive. You want to collect 4 matching cultists to your elder god to complete what is referred to as a ritual circle. Once you complete a ritual circle, you unlock a seal. Now, at the same time too, you do also have elder signs. Yes, this is Chaosium's artwork. Yes, they let us use it. Gotcha. Shout out to Chaosium. Thank you. At the same time too, these unlock seals instantaneously, allowing you to unlock your cosmic primal power. Each one is unique to each elder god. Yog-Sothoth gets a free action, so instead of 2, you get 3. Azathoth, you get to hold 1 extra card in your hand. Gives you a much larger pool for your strategies for 2-card plays. Nyarlathotep allows you to dig through the graveyard, similar to a necromancer, and allow you to put them directly into play. Cthulhu, big bad boy green, he actually gets to convert cultists for free. That way, the madness keeps on going all day. Gameplay is about 15 to 30 minutes, and it gets thick very quickly, very aggressive. So bring lots of friends, you're gonna burn through them.
Very awesome, great description of the game. Tell us a little bit about a backstory about the concept to Kickstarter to now inception.
So from Kickstarter to now, we've actually been designing the game for about 3 years. A lot of progress, balancing things like that, making sure everything worked consistently and concisely with players and maintaining even game flow. At that point, we do tend to take in accountability of flow of gaming. If it slows down, we start gutting and polling. With a lot of the going back and forth with recommendations, we do hear a lot of what people are looking for. We do take a page from that. Pretty much anything and everything we print is collectible, but also usable in the game. From the Kickstarter, the badges that you get from, from actually backing. This is from day 1 backing and an Expo exclusive, which is an Order of Madness badge. You can actually disconnect it and use it as an action in the game. This actually gives me a shield for 1 play, so I'm tired of you picking on me, I'm protecting myself. That's also one reason why we have quick disconnect, so I can just throw it in there and say, leave me alone.
Very nice concept. Any advice to people who might be issuing your game about the learning curve, and what's it going to take to find it online once the Kickstarter has already been funded?
Oh.
I'm still active, I'm sure.
Oh yes, still active. It just started yesterday. We still have 29 days. We're actually going to be ending at Tucson Comic-Con in September. That'll be the last push for the funding. The game itself is only $30 if you go onto the Kickstarter, which unlocks all the stretch goals, if you will. So you'll get all the good stuff and all the goodies for free. We've already unlocked one of the Eldritch Power cards directly, so it's already available once it goes shipping. What was the other question? Sorry.
You answered it pretty much.
Oh, fair enough.
So then, I appreciate your time. It seems like a very awesome product. I'm down on my last card. Is there a chance maybe if you'd like to follow up, I'm going to get you a card and I'll email y'all when I post this next week.
Oh, absolutely.
If y'all want to follow along, you're more than welcome to take this.
Beautiful.
I think I might have one more, but if that's not my last one, I might. No, I'm good. You can have that.
I'm out roughly December. Before Christmas.
So there's actually the promo. So that one right there, if you scan that, that takes you to the Kickstarter for any and all information. And then you also have the promo exclusive card that's only available at expos.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm big on collections. I only printed 1,000 of those. Once they're gone, it'll never be printed again.
I'm gonna keep
I'll
it in
make
the top
a
loader.
new promo card, and then it'll be available.
And here that's going in my personal collection. I'm a big Magic player, so I understand having fun like that.
So that's our business card, Strange Aeon Games. It has also all our social media on the back as well. Just look up for, if you type in Cthulhu, you will find Age of Madness on Kickstarter.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, great. Hi guys, nice to meet you. I'm Cassidy, owner of Willows Witch Art. I like to do prints and drawings, and eventually I'm hoping to branch out into apparel. Right now, my big thing is enamel pins, which you can find on the side of this booth right over here. I do a lot of work with charity and trying to do environmental work. And right up here, I'm also currently obsessed with hamsters, so I'm taking hamster commissions. And yeah, you can find me on Etsy under Willows Witch currently, and on my Instagram, Willows Witch.
Awesome. So tell us about how long you've been in your craft and what got you into doing what you're doing.
Well, I've been in my craft ever since I can remember. As a little kid, I was always drawing. Pretty old story, I guess. And I really started to get into like anime specifically when my mom first brought home Studio Ghibli movies for me and my little brother to watch. And ever since then, it was love at first sight. I could not stop drawing anime, and I love to do like original illustrations. Yeah, I've been doing my craft since I was a little kid.
Awesome. How many conventions do you attend a year?
Generally, probably 5 or 6. I try to hit as many as I can, and COVID obviously kind of hurt the business, but now I'm doing a lot better.
Very awesome. So tell us one of your favorite art pieces, and then one that you are so frustrated drawing, but now you can't live without it.
Okay, let's see. I gotta think. Okay, so my favorite art piece in here is probably one of my originals. Hang on, I gotta get it.
It's fine, no worries.
This is probably my favorite piece. You can see it sideways. It's an original piece. Took me a really long time to draw because I'm a coward and I will stop drawing and then go back and draw it like a year later. And then my piece that I struggled on the most was this piece by Rengoku. I really don't like drawing men generally because they're like square and they're harder for me to draw. So yeah, that piece was really hard.
Awesome. Any advice for people wanting to jump into something they're unsure about but know they're talented enough to do it?
I would say, I mean, just do it. Honestly, I know that's like such a basic piece of advice, but like you can't expect to learn anything if you're too afraid to try to do it. So that's my piece of advice.
All right, one last question. What was your biggest barrier that you overcame, and one that you're still trying to overcome that might that you're trying to overcome right now?
Well, I'm a really slow artist. It takes me a really long time to scale stuff up, to work on stuff, and sometimes it's really difficult to get out of bed, so that makes it harder for me to draw. So I guess my biggest barrier would probably be just like not procrastinating and just working.
Awesome. Well, I love the honesty and the answers. Honestly, that's what everybody always says.
Yeah.
So even though you say it's the old tried and true, everybody lives the same experiences, and it's awesome that we share that, and everybody feels more comfortable with making their dreams come true, just like you did for yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I know, unfortunately, some.
Well, hi, my name is Rachel Reichenbach, and I am an artist who draws frogs, and that's it. My frogs like to get up to chaos and mischief, and like to commit crimes, so.
Very awesome. So it looks like you have a great cast of characters. How long did it take you from your concept idea to where you're at now to get from where you were to here?
It was actually really fast. I drew a terrible looking frog one day and I just thought, this is hilarious. And so I kept drawing him on things, and then I was posting him on Instagram, and I suddenly started gaining followers and people who actually liked it. So I continued to draw frogs, and now a few years later, here I am.
So that's super awesome and very inspirational to the people that might be watching this. So frogs being such a great medium, what made you get into frogs as far as the medium, and why not toads?
Well, when I was a digital art major, and I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain disease, and it basically caused it to be very painful for me to draw, and I couldn't even hold up a pen to even create anything, but I was still really desperate to make art. And so I started drawing something really simple with a mouse, and the only thing I could really make was frogs, so I had that silly frog character. And so that's when I started drawing mostly frogs, and I still get bad pain a lot of the time, but being able to draw with my mouse and just these simple characters has been really amazing, that I'm able to make a career out of something when I thought my chronic pain was going to take art away from me forever.
I noticed you use the word simple for your character description. Now, when I look at your characters, I don't see simple. I see well thought out processes of placement and faces and poses that allow a conveyance of a message from a simple little picture. And I say simple in the fact that it's so small in stature, but grand in detail. How do you keep the creativity flowing in a constant pace with the fact that I know you are always thinking about it?
Oh gosh, just being able to explore. A lot of things are inspired by what's going on in my daily life. Like sometimes I am obsessed and thinking about cheese, and so I have cheese-themed frogs. So it's my inspiration comes from pretty much anywhere.
Well, give some advice to people out in the world who might be watching this that will inspire them to take the steps necessary to follow in the steps that might be scary at first, but the avenue is correct.
I thought that I'd never be able to make art again. I'd never be able to draw, and I was scared that my career was over before it even began. But because I was able to find a way around it, and despite my circumstances, I was able to move forward. So as long as you can find a way, go for it.
So my name is Snow. I am with Made For You. We make awesome dice towers. We have dice boxes of all different types.
Ooh, airship, I love it. I have it on my arm right here.
Oh, fantastic. I also make handcrafted dice.
Is those acrylic or are they 3D printed?
These are acrylic.
Okay.
Yep.
Very nice. So tell us a little bit how you got into your craft and why you enjoy it so much.
When the pandemic started, I decided I wanted to try mold making and resin work, and it graduated from a hobby into a small business. And I went from making simple jars from pre-made molds to making my own molds and handcrafted dice.
So, as you've grown in your craft and you've gotten more tools, 3D printing machines, brushes, I'm sure, and resin printers, what are some of the things you're doing looking forward to the future as far as innovating and making yourself so unique? Because these dice towers look phenomenal, and I'm sure you're always constantly thinking of fresh new ideas.
I can't wait. There's a bigger resin printer. It's going to be big enough to print, full helmets. So I can print these on the resin printer. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So what are some of the best things you've had success-wise when you come to conventions versus the expectations that didn't go quite what you thought would play out?
This is actually my first convention as a seller. I expected, the 3D towers to be a hit. Ironically, the dice were.
So, taking that information, going forward with your business, what are some of the steps and plans you plan on taking to make the adjustments needed to maximize your time?
Make more dice.
Follow the path of the people.
Yes.
Any words of inspiration you want to give to your fellow craftsmen and women that want to join up and get into stuff like this, conventions, and just putting themselves out there?
Just keep practicing, just keep working, just keep moving forward. Baby steps.
Thanks. We are Extra Life through Children's Miracle Network Hospital. We're the chapter representing Phoenix Children's Hospitals. And instead of TV telethons, we do board games, card games, tabletops, streaming, video games, things of that nature to raise money for children. This is the program. Extra Life, with a hyphen in it, I believe, .org. Or you could just Google Extra Life. That's probably what will come up. And we just Twitch TV, YouTube, Facebook games. A lot of them are Extra Lifers, and you can click, donate. It's all tax deductible, the whole 9 yards.
So being a volunteer for this Extra Life program, tell us why you wanted to jump in and help in the aspect of volunteership?
Well, I live right up the street from Phoenix Children's, but I also have, I'm ex-military, and I have a couple of friends whose children have been helped by Children's Miracle Network hospitals, including one of them being Phoenix Children's. So to me, it's a really big deal because I can give back, and I already spend hours a week playing video games. Might as well just add a link and make it so we can get these kids' hospital bills taken care of.
Well, super awesome. As you have these brave young boys and girls coming into these trying times in their life, what are some of the things that you find is best to do for them in their most times of need?
Just talk to them, tell them a joke or two. If you have, because a lot of us have gaming memorabilia and stuff at home, see if we might have a trinket or two we can bring to the kid in their hospital bed. Like if they like Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, Metroid. I mean, anyone.
I believe that Alyssa, who's actually head of our guild here, is trying to get set up now that COVID is starting to come back down and things are opening up a little bit more. Is trying to get some hospital visits started again, which will get those of us who are volunteers to be able to spend some time actually meeting the kids face to face, play with them on the game stations and all they have there, and getting a chance for us to put the faces to the names, but for them to see that there are people outside who care about them and who are helping them.
What he said.
And on the gift side of things, so Phoenix Children does have that Amazon wish list, and there's some streamers use something called Throne Gifts, where people can obviously gift them stuff. And so we actually work with Throne and have the very first Throne charity account where you can go onto it and you can buy gifts that go straight to Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Well, that's very awesome. Thank you for sharing and doing something so admirable. What is one of the top needs right now for your organization? I'm sure donations, but volunteership, materials, any type of stuff that y'all might be looking for that people can send in or help with.
You know what the biggest thing is, honestly, is just getting the word out.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that's been so amazing here. This is a gaming convention filled with gamers, and 75% of the people were like, "Have you heard anything about Extra Life?" No.
No.
So just getting the word out that there's charities, and not just Extra Life. There are other charities that do so much good. We're partnering with gamers.
Yep.
So the more that word can get out there, the more gamers can get involved with, whether it's helping children, helping veterans, helping any number of different people who could really use it. Just get the word out there that we can do good with this. There's so much in the media about how bad gaming is, how much of a waste of time it is. When you're raising money for stuff like this, it is definitely not a waste of time.
Well, I appreciate y'all's time and all the effort y'all put in everything. Again, yesterday I did already, made you a nice donation, but I wanted to say thank you and show you that, people need to come out and support full-heartedly. The children are our future, and the fact that if anybody has to go through any type of trauma or turmoil, we should be, as gamers, full-fledged and heartedly getting them back in their good, grace of what they want, being healthy, happy, and back with their families. So.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yep.